about some bacon? Ooh, some bacon. Two bobs together. I was thinking about when we first met, and I thought that it was the Greg Virgo bash at Stratford, but your mum says that it was the Boondocker bash, which I think was August 2019. That was my second meetup after Camp Quirky, and you were there, and that's when I first met your mum and dad. And that was quite a crazy weekend. I don't know if you remember that. I'm surprised I remember any of it, because I was pretty much smashed, I must admit. Then the second time we met was at the Greg Virgo bash, and that was at Stratford, and that was in the October of that year. And I think that was when I first heard you sing. Do you remember? Yeah, you were there singing away. Yeah. What?
Hello. My daughter gave me Firebowski. I've got to stop talking to dogs before I talk to people, honestly. Not crazy.
Then, what was the next time? I'm trying to think. It must have been like a New Year's Eve bash. I think we had a New Year's Eve, didn't we? Somewhere in Leicestershire. Do you remember that? That New Year's Eve bash. And then the second time we met up was again in Leicester. Do you remember when I came over to see you and we were parked in the lay-by? Do you remember when we were in the lay-by? Yeah? And there was that storm. The tree fell down. Do you remember that? Nearly hit Uncle Robert's van. Yeah. That was another time. And then, oh gosh, what a good time. Now, do you remember the OC meetup? The best meet ever. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? That was the best meet. I mean, your mum couldn't make it to that one. But your dad did. And do you remember? There was you and your dad in the inflatable, and there was me and Uncle Jamie in the canoe, and we were going to the pub, but the pub was closed. Yeah. And we went downstream on the river. Do you remember that? And then a few days later, all of the boys, we all went out, and there was Lance as well. Lance was on the canoe, and we all went upstream in canoes and inflatable kayaks and everything. That was a fun day. And there was Mad Ted. Do you remember at the weekend? Mad Ted with his sticks. Do you remember him with his sticks? He would never ever give up. Always had to have a stick. Do you remember that? Constantly grabbing sticks, jumping in the river. You and Lance were playing away, and there was Ben and Jenya's tribe there as well. God, I'm trying to remember their names now. Oh, what were their names? Lottie, George, and Susha. God, that was an amazing time, that one. Do you remember that. And I think that was probably the last time that we met. Oh look, there's Susan. Susan! Psst, 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 psst. That was a long time ago, that. And all that time you've been up here with your mum and your dad. And Susan and Suki. Eh? It's good to catch up, boy, isn't it? Two Bobs catching up. Two Bobs catching up.